It's like, the struggles that I'm having now, it's like, but you're gonna be surprised if the price of land needs to come down because the prices are up. People don't, they don't realize. But when I, and what we do is the more lots we got, the less it costs. Spread out. But it's crazy. No, it'll be okay. I mean, I'll get with them and tell them, look, we'll get tomorrow cleaned up. And they didn't give me the stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and do an engineer's cost estimate tonight and for the road and say, okay, this is what I got. And I'll send it to Eric before the meeting and say, hey, I gave it to you. I'll be really close. I'll get surveyor side. Yeah. Yeah.
I will call to order today's Fishers Plan Unit Development Committee meeting for November 6, 2024. And I will call the first matter, case number PUD-24-3, Atwell Suites, Saxony.
Thank you, Chair. For the record, Ross Hillary, City of Fishers Planning and Zoning Director. That is correct. This item was continued, but we did want to display this public comment that was shared with you guys earlier this week. The property owner at 13135 Minden Drive, Fishers, Indiana 46037, just wanted to provide a comment mentioning that she felt that this item had been continued multiple times and just requested that there was no further continuation. Again, staff just wanted to share that with the committee before you tonight. We expect to see them at our December meeting. And with that, staff has asked for the continuation, so we can go to the next item.
Okay. Thank you, Ross. We will go to the next agenda item. That is case number RZ-24-1 for Kit City, Scythian Road, PUD, with an address of 12344 Scythian Road, a request to approve architectural elevations and site plan for a child care center known as Kid City USA, generally located east of Scythian Road between Southeastern Parkway and East 126th Street. And we do have Gabrielle Heron for the staff. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Gabrielle Heron, and I am a senior planner with the Planning and Zoning Department. The project before you today is a proposed child care center called Kid City USA. As you said, it is generally located on the east side of Cynthiane Road and north of Southeastern Parkway. The property will be part of the Kid City Cynthiane Road PUD, which consists of this lot only. Later today, the same property will be considered by Plan Commission. So here is the site plan. It shows the location of the 14,425 square foot child care center and the associated parking. In the red rectangle is the proposed connection to Cynthiane Park. And then also as you can see, there's a rain garden and playground area. And then here you can see the proposed front or west elevation. So this elevation, its building materials includes fiber cement shakes and siding, cast stone, face brick, and architectural asphalt shingles. You can see the colors of the materials on the paint and brick samples the petitioner provided. He will show that during his presentation. And the elevations in the PUD will be updated to color. And then here is the rear east elevation of the childcare. So it's composed of the same building materials. And you can reference the paint and brick samples for the colors. And then here is the right south and left north elevations. And then here is an aerial perspective from the northwest corner of the building. And then here are pictures of the surrounding character. To the east is Cynthia Ann Park. And then to the north, shown in the picture on the right, top right, it's single family and Cynthia Ann Park. And then the view to the south, which is the bottom left, is towards a school and a property that will be commercial. And then the bottom right is a view to the west, which includes a school and place of worship, and a future commercial use. And then staff recommends approval with the condition that the petitioner will work with staff to meet the mixed use and non-residential design standards within the Unified Development Ordinance, UDO section 6.3.5. To meet these standards, specialty lighting, or in other words, pedestrian accent lighting, to be added. The petitioner has agreed to this condition. And I'm happy to answer any questions. Bill Evans with Ally Land Consultants is here to present on behalf of the petitioner.
Thanks, Gabrielle. Any questions for staff at this point? Thank you. Mr. Evans?
Good afternoon. My name's Bill Evans. I'm with Allied Land Consultants. We have offices in Greenfield. I work with MJ Gibson Land Surveying. Mike Gibson's the owner. We are here today representing R2 development, which is Mr. Shepard and Miss Marley's here this afternoon in attendance. The property's located at 12344 Cynthia Ann Road. We're proposing a one building, 14,425 square feet, as Gabriel mentioned. This building will be a daycare facility, and we will have about 130 to 150 kids that will be in attendance. The departure and the once they get going in the morning, there's about a 3 to 4 hour period where they come in. Most of the kids don't come in all at one time. It's spread out and it's based on age and when mom and dad need to go to work or drop them off. The same in the evening. Won't be all at one time. So we're not looking at a major traffic disruption. The facility, as you see it, will consist of material that Gabrielle mentioned. There's 3 different elements that are on the building that are required by the UDO, which we meet. I'll provide the samples to you so you can see exactly what they are. The stone, the brick will be this, the lap siding will be this color, and this will be the shade above in the gables. As you can tell, those are cool colors. Those are colors that were suggested by staff, and our group looked at that, and we came up with that color palette, and we feel like it will be a good fit for the community. We are proposing the path. Let me see if I can get it up here. Tell you a little bit about that. That's the building. You'll see the three different elements that I was mentioning regarding the siding, the shake, and the brick. Well, I lost my, we'll get it back. Okay, on the south side of the project is a pedestrian path that will be in place. Our group will put in that path. And it'll go all up to the existing walking path that's located in Cynthia Ann Park. The path will be located in an easement. And then at the end of the path, you'll see up by the Cynthia Ann Road that you'll see that there'll be a bench for seating and so forth. There'll be a bike rack that along the path that is parallel with Cynthia Ann Road. We've committed to do a 10-foot path there in front and connect the school to the south and the path to the north that's within Cynthia Ann Park. You'll see a vast amount of landscaping on this project. This landscaping is similar or probably even greater than the landscaping that's on the Meyer project. You'll see that we've taken a great deal of time to make sure that the building and the exterior of the building and the landscaping will fit in with the community. We'll have a rain garden on the north side of the project. That's basically all of our stormwater will go into the rain garden, and then we'll disperse into the pond at the park. The rain garden meets all the water quality requirements outlined in the current stormwater quality ordinance for the city. There'll be a playground at the east side of the building. It's roughly 4,200 square foot. There'll be two sides to that, one for the larger kids and then one for the smaller kids. So you'll see that they've taken into account. The dumpster will be screened, as well as any mechanical AC unit, gas meter, et cetera, will be screened from the public, so you won't be able to see that. And then the lighting that Gabriel mentioned, that lighting we will have on the rendering that will be in the packet that will show the lighting on the exterior of the building. And it'll be similar to a building that we're building in McCordsville. It's shown on the site plan. It's referenced on the site plan, but it doesn't show on the renderings, and we'll make sure that that happens. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have some.
Thanks, Mr. Evans.
Thank you.
Questions for the petitioner?
I have a few questions, I guess. The HVAC units with the hip roof, I'm assuming you're doing a split system with condensing units. Where are those going to be located, and how are you going to screen them? You've got quite a bit of landscaping around the building, so I just want to make sure that's accounted for as well.
Sure. No, we made a commitment to make sure that there's, the screening will be in place. Are your units, are your air conditioning units on the roof, or are they on the back? They'll be in the ground in the back, so they won't be seeable from the road. It'll be hidden from the public. The residential units. Yeah, okay. The residential units.
Okay, so they'll be visible from the park, so as long as they're still being screened. And I'm assuming is the playground area in the back, does the fence go all the way to the building, or is there a gap between the building and the playground area?
No, it'll be secure. It goes to the building. Okay. It's wrought iron. It'll be black wrought iron.
Okay. And is the playground material, obviously you've got the playground equipment, I'm assuming has more of a rubber surface.
Yeah, it'll have the rubber filament. It'll have like the 2 inches of top layer, and then it'll have the bottom, the stone underneath and so forth. And
okay. And then is the rest of it grass? Is it?
It'd be sod in the rest of it. Yeah.
Okay. I think the only other question I had is I guess maybe not a question, more of a comment. If you could go to the elevations, maybe?
We had color elevations, but we changed the,
No, could you show the elevations?
oh, okay, yeah,
just
sure.
Forward or backward, whichever direction. Thanks. I think generally I'm okay. I would like to see the windows larger, but, that's, more personal preference. I think the scale, the massing of the columns at the different porches or different covered entry areas seems a bit small compared to the rest of the building massing. Could be something to be done to
Yeah,
increase the massing of those.
the columns, we'll make sure that we address that. They are substantially different. We'll make sure that we put a detail in the PUD that shows those and how those would be built. We did a close look at this and went through some discussions with Gabriel on Monday regarding the columns and some other things. So our landscape architect and as well as our architect are looking at all the surrounding items of the building. We'll make sure that the columns are addressed and they look proportionate with the building. I believe that's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
I agree.
The windows are actually, each window is 3 foot by 4 foot tall.
Okay, what is the sill height of those?
That sill height would be like 3 feet off the ground.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions?
So, and I'm fine with it, but let's go to the fence in the back. The fence is wrought iron fence in the back. So you have the units in back, which you're gonna landscape. And I think, Sean, were we talking about the gables there in front?
Yeah. Where
They look small?
The different entry doors are.
Right, they look small?
Yeah.
I agree with that, so I'd like to get that addressed, because they do need to probably be a little bit more sizable, particularly to the front entrance road. Where's the signage gonna be?
The signage is going to be above in the middle on the west elevation, where it, right there at the
Where it faces
gable.
Cynthia Ann Road?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna be up on the building, and that's okay?
Yep.
Via sign stuff, okay. So there's gonna be nothing out on the street side?
No.
Okay.
No,
So,
we won't.
and then, if you go to the site plan itself, this is probably less of a PUD architecture question than it is a site question. So
Okay.
this driveway right there, which is coming in, if you go back one more, right, to where we took the overall land piece.
Nope.
Maybe go forward, I guess, sorry. There's a snapshot you showed from the aerial view of the entire plot. Maybe that was on ours. Was that on ours? where
I
you
believe
showed
that was on-
the location?
Yeah.
Okay,
To the right? Back?
yeah.
Okay, now we're going.
Okay, keep going, yeah. Right, nope, right there, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Ross, I'm looking at the place where we just approved the Meyer, and I see all sorts of what appears to be boundary lines on there. But to my knowledge, that's going all the way to the back corner where Meyer's going, correct? Or is it just in the one piece?
Yeah, I can highlight that.
I wish I had a pointer. I need Brad's pointer.
You're fine.
Is it just the one that's outlined there?
So it's, you can't see my cursor.
No, not them. I want to talk about Meyer for a second, then I'll get back to them, okay? You get my point here in a minute. I want to know where Meyer's coming in. So,
All of that is mine.
all of it, perfect. So that's what I'm saying.
Minus that residential lot,
Minus the square in the corner.
Minus the square in the corner.
minus this.
Okay. So,
Can't see that, sorry.
so now, okay, on that road, which has not been improved and widened, okay, we're gonna put a right in, right out, full access point for Meyer at that far, what I would call north end, right? That's the only place that TAC was gonna give them full in and out. Okay, now we give them a full in and out, right? at that point? And are we requiring decel lanes, excel lanes, and, okay, because my worry there is there's gonna be a pinch point. And I get the fact that you've got people coming in at different hours, and I don't think the traffic's gonna be much of a burden, but I wanna tell you something. If I have residents scream louder than anybody, it's the Del Webbers who are gonna scream loud, and they scream loud when they wanna scream, right? Because they worry about speeds going up and down that road. I wanna make sure we're looking at that traffic pattern, because now you're gonna add Meyer in there, which is gonna add traffic. I'm gonna add these guys in there, which is gonna add traffic. And of course, all we do is add traffic according to every resident. But I wanna make sure we're taking that into consideration when we're doing TAC, right? Because there may need to be a widening of that road, okay, that brings us out, that has a middle lane.
Yeah, so I can talk on that for a second,
Okay.
and if you want to add something. So the original site plan that I think we saw at City Council too did have 2 access points.
Yep.
So that was adjusted already
Okay,
from engineering.
down to one.
And
Yeah, I
they-
wasn't at last council meeting, I was stuck in Florida before
That's
the
all right.
hurricane.
And then they, engineering did evaluate their times of drop-off and
Yep.
pickup, different than a school, so you
Right.
pull in and you walk your kid in. And then, so they are requiring the A-cell, D-cell that's shown here on the site
Okay,
plan.
so right here. And then we got another requirement down in the other one, okay. I still think when we go through TAC, someone, and maybe I can talk to Hatem, but we need to
Sure.
look at potentially widening that out to give a center lane so we can potentially avoid any speeds that are going through there.
Right, that is part of the plating that they
Okay.
are providing, that
Yep.
required right away.
Yep. Okay.
But if you want to add
Perfect.
anything.
Yeah, other than that, I think the project looks good. I like the project.
In regard to traffic, we had a discussion with Tony and his staff in engineering. Actually, it was a makeshift meeting after our last plan commission meeting. We're gonna dedicate, and we're actually gonna put in additional asphalt of 8 feet more, and they're gonna make the property to the west do the same.
Okay.
So there will be a turn lane
Okay,
eventually, once that, they get going on the other side.
Right,
Ours will be
right.
ready, and then once they do that, then it should be a full turn lane
right.
that they're
Okay,
gonna
good. So
require.
we're getting that dedication done, I assume, right, the right of way we need? Okay, all right. I want somebody thinking about it, because that's what we're gonna get yelled at for.
Yeah,
Other than
we're-
that, project looks
We're
good.
actually moving the power poles back, so they'll be straight.
Okay, good.
And that extra width will be there if
Okay.
needed. Yep.
Thank-
I just want to add 2 more staff comments. The asphalt path that they're providing is a part of the open space requirement. So they're actually building part of the path on city property. So that has been okayed from Parks and DPW. That was the preferred method versus them doing a payment in lieu or something like that. So they're actually building that. So it says proposed path by developer. So we're working with them on that. And then from a trail gap perspective, this is around 550 feet of trail gap required by the development to put in, but is something that we look at across the city. So there's actually a trail on both sides. We're excited to get this connection.
Yep. Right,
Thanks, Ross.
On the property, it would be south of where that building is. There's no intention for subdividing that as any sort of outlot or
No,
additional development,
that area is
correct?
gonna remain the same because the drainage from the park
Okay.
and the school goes through there, and there's an existing 12-inch CMP that's there.
Okay.
And we do not want to impede
Perfect.
that flow.
is this being replotted, so it's gonna be on one plot?
It is on one plat, and the PUD also has this as a concept plan showing one lot.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we applied for the secondary plat approval about a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Howard, unless you had anything else, I'd make make a motion with the conditions of increasing the size and scale of the,
What do they call
what
them?
am I?
What do they call those?
Cables and columns.
Cables and columns, thank you so much, columns. And then the 2 staff conditions that were in there about lighting and the other one. Is it just the lighting?
I think it was just the
Okay.
Just the
lighting.
lighting.
Yeah. And I'll second that.
I think I would do it subject to staff approval, so I think it wouldn't be significant, but I would say that it would just be subject to staff approval.
We'll make it a little bit different. The one in McCordsville, the columns go up to the roof. I think if we add that, you're gonna see a dramatic change. And that we had another slide, but it was of the Cordsville building that we didn't wanna confuse this, but we'll do it similar to that, and you'll see a difference.
Yeah, I think we have an understanding, certainly Ross has an understanding, we're just trying to make it look geometrically nice, right? I think it looks odd.
More
because it's a little
proportion.
small.
I think it's just a proportioning issue
Proportional, yeah,
is
so
really the issue.
You won't have to come back here, they can run it through staff.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, Mr. Evans.
Thank
Yeah, I don't
you.
have any further comments, so we have a motion by Megan, second by Pete. Roll call, Kay, please.
Ms. Baumgartner,
Yes.
Mr. Peterson,
Yes,
Mr. Curran,
Yes,
and Mr. Stevenson.
Yes, the motion does carry. Thank you. Next agenda item, we don't have any River Place PUD committee items. Any staff communications?
No staff communications.
No staff communications? No further agenda items?
motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.